ready to jump in now, so that's good. I assume you were pulling up a whole bunch of... Oh, you're born ready, absolutely. I know that. Okay, so here we are with our team training call. Like I was saying earlier, normally we're treating the Thursday calls more like a training call, but tonight it's more of an update call, like we have done in the past, okay? So please go ahead and hold any questions that you have towards the end. We'll try to get as many of those potentially answered. So as you can well imagine, this has been a very busy week for us at Corporate. All of us have been on the phone constantly, talking to loads and loads of people, really just trying to make this transition as smooth as possible. Taha has been over-serving the Telegram app and really getting a lot of great information. And by the way, with the Telegram app, we just crossed 500 people into that, so that's fantastic. Seems like it is definitely working very well for everybody.
You have a sound queued up for that, Bill? Come on.
On that note, guys, let me know who's not on Telegram. Who's not
okay. That's a good one, because we need to get you on Telegram if you're not. Okay.
Let's see.
Absolutely.
If you are on Telegram and you like getting updates like in real time, let us know that too, so the rest of the folks know why it's a good place to be.
That's a great question. What do you guys think of Telegram at this point? We're literally 2 weeks into Telegram if you're using it. If you're not on it, we'll definitely get that to you. I'll find a slide once Taha takes over. I'll find a slide that has that information.
I'll find that link right now because I see a lot of people not on Telegram.
Oh, okay. So if you can pull that up, and you know what, we'll just add that as a slide to every single one of our presentations moving forward. We just learned something.
Yeah, and some people are saying they're unaware of how to download it, or they're having trouble logging into it.
Okay, yeah, that's all pretty easy fixes. So that's fantastic. Okay. And I'm sure I can speak for all of us at Corporate. We are very thankful for everybody that has been helping us through this migration, okay? There's been a lot of great information put out there, a tremendous amount of patience, okay? That's one of the things that I've been very impressed with, is just your patience through this. Everyone gets that we had to make this change, that this change is for the better for the company. It's going to make it stronger, and it's going to make it stronger for everybody, for you listening right now, okay? It's going to make it stronger for you, okay? So we really thank you for your patience and your willingness, as I asked last week, to roll up the sleeves and get done whatever needs to be done, okay? And many of the initial issues that we had, and some anticipated, some not, okay, are pretty much resolved at this point. And Taha is going to really walk you through a lot of the sort of state of our union, state of the trip union, okay, and kind of what's going on with things, okay? So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Taha to start kind of walking you guys through this. So,
all right, guys, thank you so much, Bill. So let's start with the first thing. So most of you guys know, once again, Bill and David both asked, if you're not on Telegram, let us know. There's links being shared. For those of you who are in Telegram, are getting real-time updates. So that's where I'm sharing most of these updates. So you guys actually will find a lot of this information redundant, which is good. You should know about it in real time rather than once a week. But let's get to where we're at, right? So as we know, and I'm going to kind of really quickly share my screen so that we can come back to the slides, but I will show off where you can find the latest updates in Telegram right here. There's a pinned message at the top always, right? And in this case, lately that pinned message has been from me. And over there, I'm updating this regularly about every 3 hours as to what's going on. At the top of that message, you'll see major update notice, data migration status in progress, right? So we kind of started this effort actually a couple weeks ago, but we really started doing the official data migration, I'd say right now about a little over 90 something hours ago, right? And so we were looking to push everything out it was going to be this morning is when we were going to push everything out, but it's a lot more strenuous of a job as we looked into the data. I had to go through every single one of our users and make sure that the data is clean, that all your referrals are starting to pop up the way they need to. But instead of having you guys kind of wait for me to finish, we started pushing some of the referrals through in batches for people. But now we're kind of leading to this big finale where We have about 98,085 users whose referrals and data has been remapped, and we have to push that over into our systems, right? So that's going to happen tonight. But as we come to that, I'm going to get you guys prepared for something. We're going to have to restart our servers. We're going to ask you to recache, clear your caches, clear your history, log out of the app. Even if you're still having issues, perhaps delete it and reinstall it. That's a good practice too. But that's going to be a major reset that's going to happen tonight. And then as we do that, I'll continue to keep you guys updated. And then please share screenshots as you start seeing your referrals starting to pop up. If you don't see it right away, you don't have to keep saying, I don't see it. Just give it a bit of time. We will let you know that, hey, at this point, all referrals should be there. And if you still don't see them, please send us a message. Until we say that, you don't have to let us know. We already know. We're working on getting them there right now. All right. So that's sort of where we're at in terms of our referrals right now. So Bill, do you want to start sharing again so we can kind of go back to the slides? And you are on mute. So let's see, what do we have next that we want to cover? Okay, so this is in relation to each other. So for those of you whose referrals have started to pop up, and I pushed 2 updates right now, so it's roughly about 30% of our entire user base, roughly about 20 to 30,000 users. I don't know which ones because obviously we do it in a different order from the database. You are able to log into the application just as you were before, but you're also able to see your referral count. And this means for your entire referral count that you would have, depending on your tier, whether you're a VIP partner or whether you're a new person just signed up, you'll be able to see all of that, right? So that's something you're going to be able to do. For the rest of you, as we finish out and push out this final push, I will continue to post an update on Telegram, on Facebook, and then we don't want to spam people with emails. That's why we don't send 4 emails a day. Otherwise, you would very quickly unsubscribe. So I'm going to be sending out 1 email once this whole thing is completed to all 98,000 users that, hey, guess what? Time to celebrate. Everything's done. All the referrals are showing up for you now. Go ahead and log in. So Telegram, Facebook updates are going to be a lot more frequent. And then 1 email that's going to come out as well. All right. And so that's the update on the login. Let's move on. Okay. So yeah, this one is resolved. And I want to give a few examples of this, right? So let me see if I got permission from one of the gentlemen. Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm going to give a shout out to Bruno Bardet. Thank you, Bruno, for letting me share this example. A lot of you guys have been sharing, and when I say a lot, let me quantify this. I've seen about 15 to 20 people, which to me is a lot. It means that something's definitely not working when that's not the case. So about 15 to 20 people out of all of our users reported that their referral link is not working. So I posted an update about that. And what they mean by not working is, let's say I have my referral link that I got from the mobile app and I shared it with David and David clicked on it. And when he downloaded the app and went to the sign up screen, my referral code did not automatically pop up. That's what people are reporting. So let me tell you what's going on with that. So if you're in Telegram, I'm going to push Telegram again very, very heavily. So hopefully everybody on this call is on Telegram by the end of this call. So if you're in Telegram, you will notice that right here as part of the major update, I pushed a link update once I was able to identify the issue, thanks to the help of Doc Matrix at that time, right? So the issue was that some of you guys got an old cached link that had percentage 26, this right here, and I kind of described this problem here, and I'll kind of get to the layman's term version of this, but the bottom line is you have an old cached link. And Anita has been doing a really good job in Telegram describing how to clear cache and get new links. So what you have to do is copy your link that you think is not working if you shared it somewhere, and make sure that right after the referral code does say percentage 26. If it does, that means you got the link before you were even supposed to get it. You probably were one of the first few people to sign on. At that time, our system hadn't finished pushing out all the updates yet. So you need to go back into your mobile app and perhaps log out and log back in to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. And your link should look like this. It should be, for the Rider app, it should be the Rider app link, but this part is important right here. You see where there's referral code and then the ampersand and referral ID. Some of you are sharing this link, referral code percentage 26. This was an older link that we had in one of our staging sites, and that's what's circulating out there for a few of you. I found about 15 to 20 of you that have that. If you share this link with the percentage 26, your referral code does not automatically populate in the mobile app. This one works flawlessly. Another example that some of you guys have done with referral links, Bruno came to me and said, hey, my someone in Texas not working. I asked him to share the link with me. He shared it from the app. He shared a new link from the app, and I tested it and sent him a video that it was working. So we tried to troubleshoot what's going on, and turns out he set up domain forwarding. Now our links work with domain forwarding. So I had to do a little bit of digging as to what's going on. So I did a trace on his domain forwarding. Hey, Bill, can you tell me if you can see the full screen image?
Yep.
So I did a little bit of digging on that. And turns out when he set up the domain forwarding, he made a slight mistake where the $C was missing from this domain forwarding setup, right? So this is something that can happen all the time when you're setting up links. You just got to be really careful. And he was nice enough to share this, allow me to share this with the rest of you guys as well. Make sure when you're setting up your domain forwarding is correct. I kind of shared it with him. I was like, look, here's how it looks with forwarding. If you don't know what domain forwarding is, then don't even worry about it. You probably should Google it, and we'll probably have some articles about how to set that up. But for those of you who are facing problems, it's been one of two issues. One, you have a percentage 26 link, which is an old cache link, or the link is just not right. Something's wrong with the link in terms of how you copy pasted it or how you shared it or something like that. Now, that doesn't mean don't tell us about it, because this is helping me identify some common patterns. And when we create an FAQ, Bill's team is going to actually put some of these common mistakes in our Intercom articles so that you can kind of see it right there. I'm going to stop sharing, Bill, so we can come back on track and see where we need to be. All right, so we talked about the referral links. Yes, so the referral links are resolved.
Before we move forward, because I'm sure that for 90% of the people that went whoop, right over the head, right? So what is the easy fix? If your link is not working, what is the easy fix? What somebody should be doing?
Log out of your app. If you want to be really careful, here's what I would recommend. If you want to take it as a Bible that this works, log out, delete your app, reinstall the app, and log in. Then follow these instructions. Give me a second, and I'm actually going to screen share. Exactly, if you do this, your link's going to work 100% of the time.
In other words, if you don't have, if you don't want to become a link guru, just follow what Taha's going to show you right now.
Exactly. Let me go ahead and paste this in here so I can join. There we go. Okay, and let me know, Bill, I think you might have to stop sharing. And then if you lose my audio, please let me know, because that happens sometimes. Okay, can you guys see my mobile screen?
Yeah.
Great. So, first of all, on iOS and Android, both delete your app, log out and delete your app, then re-download it, open the app, and log in, just as I'm doing right now, which I am going to stop sharing. I love you guys, but if you want me to build apps, I gotta hide.
You don't want people to have your phone number?
Maybe. Okay, so I just logged back in, which means I can start sharing again. Give me a second here. And okay, can you guys see it again?
Yeah, I got you.
Great. So now when you're in the app on Android, the only difference is that this menu button is on the top left. The 3 hamburger button on the bottom is on the top left on Android. But on iOS and Android, you would click the menu button, you would click your referral program, and then you want to make sure that the writer app part is highlighted, which it is automatically. Click the share button on the top. You see where it says next to CTO? CTO is my referral code. So click the share button and share any which way you like. Notice it even shows you the link preview on iPhones, and it shows the ampersand. So that's a confirmation that this link is correct. Simply do these steps and you can share the link anywhere you want and it will work, all right? So that is all. That's the simplest way to do it. Log into your app, delete your app once, log in, and then share away. Share as much as you like.
That was very helpful. Very helpful, very simple.
Awesome. So let's continue on. What do we have next? Yes, Bill, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. The webinar issues that we were having have all been resolved. There was a problem with a much older version that somehow crept in there. This is not software that we have a whole lot of control over. And so I went back to the developer and said, what's going on? And he said, we did do a backup. I haven't even had a chance to tell you. They did a backup of an old version is what essentially happened, is what he said. So that we went back and rewrote that. That's stuff that we were using with that. So that's all taken care of. No more issues with that. And I do believe that we still need to get it in the back end, the new back end too, still. So we just wanted to make sure that all those issues got flushed out before we put it back in there. So maybe that's something we can get back in tomorrow. Okay, buddy?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
So thank you for that, Bill. What else do we have?
Okay, so I know that we wanted to go through some options that you've actually just gone through, which is quite nice. We've gotten a lot of questions, and guys, we really appreciate all your questions all over the place. Okay, the one of the best places to get them, and actually I'll give you a sort of a secret way into us, okay, is when you log into the app or when you log into the web app, okay, and you get a notice that comes from me, okay, if you respond to that, I'm actually going to get that myself eventually, okay, so it does kind of go through our customer support team, but that will get back to me. So we've gotten a lot of great information from Telegram, from the app, from these different places, and so we wanted to make sure that we get all these things answered. So Taha just went through that, how to share your link on the apps. Okay, so that was really super helpful. People were asking about that. Now on the web app, you can also click on either the rider or the driver link and share them. So Taha, would you mind just queuing that up and showing people how to do that on the web app itself too? You showed them how to do it on the iOS and the Android app. Let's just go back to our old school web app that works quite well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second to cue that up here.
All right. And then we're going to show you one more place that you can actually share your link. So the first place that Taha has already showed you is you can share the rider or the driver link right out of your Android or Apple app on your cell phone. Okay, the second place that we're going to show you right now is how to do that same thing right out of our dashboard once you log in on the web app, okay? Because you've probably heard, if you've been around for a little while, Taha talk about the 3 different apps that we have, okay? We've got the Android app on the mobile phone, we've got the iOS app on the mobile phone, and we've got the web app, which is the greater web, okay? So go ahead, Taha.
So right here on the dashboard, if you're coming from a desktop, and I'll show both desktop and mobile views. So if you're coming from the desktop, you just scroll down on your dashboard, and you can click this button right here. So there's a rider app link right here underneath that. You can click that, and I'll paste it here. You can share it with anyone you like. You can email it, text it, whatever you'd like to do. Similarly, if you want to share the driver app, you can do that right here as well. There's a few different very important places that you need to understand where you can share this from, right? So that's the direct link to the mobile apps. Understand that it's better to send that link via email to somebody or via Facebook posts or text so that they can download it directly on their mobile phone. You can also share a Facebook post or a Twitter post simply by clicking these buttons. It will automatically tweet that link out for you. You can add a little text before that, right? So you can also do this from the referral program screen. If you're on that screen, right here on the right side, there's a rider section and a driver section. Talks about social sharing. Click any of these buttons to share on Facebook or Twitter, or you can copy the link and that will copy the rider app link and this will copy the driver app link. All right. Now, one more most important tool that David and Bill have worked really hard to put together for you is this links and resources area, right? So if you click on links and resources, now this is really awesome. A lot of you have asked, hey, where do I send people if I want to send them to a website so that they can learn about, TryPrides and our programs and the referral program and how all this works before they just go straight to downloading the app. So if you click on links and go to websites, you'll notice that you have your sales page here and a sales page with no personal info, right? So if you click copy URL here, and I'll open this one, we actually embed your referral code all the way through. And there's some magic that happens here where, let's go down here for a second. So as you can see, in this, it opens up the sales page, which talks about, the different earning opportunities with TryPrides as a driver, as a rider. And if they click anywhere on here, they click Get Started Now, guess where we send them? After they've learned about this information, they click any of the Get Started Now buttons. We send them to the bottom of the page where our app is available for free. Download our rider or driver app, and your link is embedded in there. So I'll copy this link real quick to show you. Your link is embedded in your sales page. This will be passed all the way through the rider app. So this is such a step forward compared to where we were just a few weeks ago, guys. Now your folks, no matter where they click from, your links are automatically going to pass through. They cannot miss typing in your link because they don't have to type it. It just embeds directly in. One thing I want to share about all of this awesomeness is right now the driver apps are not live and not updated in the sense that they don't have the latest version. So share links only to the rider app. There's no point of sharing links to the driver app, because then if you're getting complaints that it's not working or the referral link is not popping up, it hasn't been updated yet. So that's something really, really important to mention, that share the rider app link and the sales page link, but the driver app link is not really going to auto-populate a referral code just yet. All right. So with that, back over to you, Bill. And
I had to unmute myself there. So that's super helpful, because it's almost like you knew what we were doing next on this, because the next was about the sales page.
There you go.
You covered that. And then the next thing was show examples of each, Taha. It's almost like you had these slides beforehand, my friend.
I don't know. There's this guy, Bill the Fun Crosby, right? Maybe he impressed me a little bit about the content. I don't know.
And actually, I think I was sharing those with you this morning. So we were on the same page early. So Taha and I are both closer to time zones together than Taha and myself and David and Bishop. They're 2 hours behind me, 3 hours behind Taha. So quite often
nice way to say you're always ahead of us.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, what quite often happens is in the morning I'll get up and I'll start texting and sending stuff out at 6 a.m. and Taha starts responding.
I don't sleep, man.
I know, because you don't sleep. I know. But then I don't get responses from the Pacific Coast people for a couple hours later. So, all right. So we are at our questions place. So I had asked if you could kind of hold off on any questions that you have. And so if you can sort of give us an idea of what questions you might have, this is the perfect time for us to begin to answer those. And what I'd love you to also do too is just understand that, as much as possible, we're going to try to take any questions that are really great for training, and Bishop and I and David will cover those things. Okay. So if you see something that you go, you know what, this would be really great. I think other people in the greater would really benefit from knowing this information. You might sort of suggest stuff to us, which we always love to see that. We always love to hear you saying, hey, this would be helpful for us to know this. And I think it would be helpful for everybody else too. So what questions are we getting here, guys?
Someone is saying that they noticed with the referral link, it can be removed. And so they were asking, is there a way to gray it out so someone cannot remove it?
So yeah, I think we've got that suggestion. We'll think through that scenario. There is a way to do it, but there's also an implication regarding that. So it's something we're considering. We'll have an answer for you probably next week when I'm out of the data den, and we can figure out a little bit more of what we should do about that.
Okay. And then another question, what about the driver app? Any update? When is that going to be completely ready?
We will let you know. We were expecting that we would have this data mapping done by the morning, but that's not happening. So we're doing the best we can. We'll keep you posted. Likely we're going to see some stuff sometime early next week, perhaps. But it all depends on my focus first and foremost is to make sure that all the people that have helped us get here thus far, that we take care of them, right? And that means that their contacts, their referrals, everything that they work for is mapped out the way that they intend. And that's going to happen. And I'm going to monitor the situation. Then we're going to move our attention back to the driver app. I want to push everything out like yesterday, trust me. But
Taha, let me
stage by stage.
Taha, can you talk about what you and I were talking about earlier, what you have been doing personally over the last, 100 hours on the data, going over in my mind, I think I did the math, was probably almost 1 million records, if you remember at all. Yeah. Can you explain a little bit of why you did that, so that we can move forward and the clean slate?
Yeah, it's 49 million different records over 49 million different records that I've had to look at, and obviously not every single one, but I've had to look at 98,000 different users and all of the different possibilities to make sure you guys are very familiar that Trip has started, a couple of months back and has gone through from one system. When I came on board, then we decided we need to improve a system. There were some serious problems that you guys had, and we moved over to a system really, really quickly, pushed out an app in like 8 days, and then we were doing another upgrade. So in those system migrations, we'll realize, oh my God, this data that's been coming over, it really needs to be sanitized. It needs to be cleaned up, and it needs to be in prime condition. That's why I actually sent a meme earlier in Telegram that our data is going to be so squeaky clean that if those of you who get the reference from Star Trek, that data would be proud of it too. But every single user and their records have seen my eyes. My eyes have seen their specific data. And so that's something that's really important. Here's the meme, by the way, I have to share. So look at this, guys. Our data is going to be so clean and squeaky that data will be proud. I don't know if other people find that funny, but I love doing stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's our commitment to you is when we do a major change, we want to make sure that we don't forget about all the folks and all of the effort that's gone behind bringing us to this point. So David and I and everybody else in the company is very committed to that too. And I know you guys ask a lot of these questions like, hey, when are my referrals going to show? Trust me, I'll worry about that 98,000 times more than you do. You're worried about your account. I'm worried about every person's account. So that's what we've been spending tons of time doing. And there's a lot of complications in that, but we made sure that
essentially, right, what you did was, because we had 2 systems change, right? This is essentially the third because of the brand new business model.
Yep.
We actually took the time to go line by line to make sure that there was no old problems, which we know there was, right? Because it started bad on the very first system that we had.
Yeah.
So that moving forward, there is no more problems, and people, I can't see my people, I can see all that, right? Isn't that correct?
Exactly.
So who here thinks that that's important that Taha is doing that, right? Isn't it better to take the time to do it right so that we no longer have the same questions? Hey, I can't see my people. All right, so big shout out to Taha because he probably hasn't slept, 100 hours. Because I don't know how long it takes to go over that many records manually.
Yeah, everybody is saying yes, absolutely. Way to go, Taha. Triptastic, Taha. Absolutely.
So because of that, you guys, as soon as Taha is done, I'm assuming you're not fully done yet.
Yeah.
When you are done, what Taha is going to do is, and I'll just reiterate what he said earlier if you guys missed it. He's actually going to have to reset servers, reset everything. So you most likely, depending where you're logging in from, at some point between tomorrow or the next day, you're going to see the website down.
Yes.
Because he's going to be resetting. It's almost like, your computer had an issue, you reboot it. That's what he's going to be doing once he releases the brand new squeaky clean data. So then he can move forward with the other stuff. So that make sure once the apps are out, which the rider is already out, right?
Rider's already out, yeah.
Rider's already out, right? But some people have seen that they're having issues, even though they have the new app, right? There's some data stuff because they're still tagged to the old data. So what he's doing is, again, fixing that so that moving forward, once that he presses that button, that red button, detonate the old stuff and bring the new stuff in. It's gonna be you guys are all gonna be very proud and happy about that. So want to make sure you guys understood that and what's going on. And so driver app, I would say sometime next week. That's the probability because he was focusing on this so that he can release the driver app as well. So that
Exactly.
answers the question. I want to make sure you guys knew exactly what we're doing as we usually do. So you guys have, you're here with us. Right?
Okay, so when are we going to receive our background checks?
So the background checks are, let me answer that in the sense of there's 400 people that we talked about that have already gone through. And when we launch the driver app, you're going to be able to sign up. Now we can actually announce we have a merchant partner that will work with non-MLM companies, which is what we needed. And that merchant partner is who you're going to sign up with, and who that merchant, have you announced who that merchant partner is yet or no? We haven't. Okay, so guess what?
No.
You guys will see it for the first time when you're signing up for your own merchant account in the app. I'm going to tell you, this is a merchant partner that helped with one of the two major rideshare companies that are out there. They helped invent a lot of the things that right now drivers utilize in the industry. So that's the kind of people we can now go with that will work with us now that we've gone to a model that's compliant with them. So that's why the background checks, it's not that we haven't, we've been delaying it. We've been waiting to gear up so that we could push it out. And in the app, you guys can submit your merchant account creation details right there with the partner. And then you'll just be able to drive as soon as everything processes through. And then you'll be able to take passengers and build your customer base.
So that answers a question that a lot of people were asking. What is the banking status? And Taha just gave you, I don't know if you guys understood what he just said. We do have a major partner on board. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's a huge job. Let me give you guys an idea, okay? The partners we had previously, and some of you have experienced these pains. I was in Florida when we were trying to process 20 transactions and the payment provider would go down, right? So the payment providers that we had to deal with previously because of the model we were in, they would brag that they can do 500 transactions per second, right? Which means that, 500 transactions per second. Yeah, that's what they would brag about.
Yeah, 500 per second. 2,500 in 5 seconds.
2,500 in 5 seconds or 500 per second, okay? The partner we're going with right now, their initial limit, just starting off, is 100,000 transactions per second, okay? So understand the disconnect, the level of upgrade that we've gone and the kind of partners we can work with now, going from 500 a second, which is the system's crashing, why can't I pay for stuff? What's going on? It says card. Guys, we feel those pains. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I just wish I could build a better solution for all you guys, right? And we can do that now because we don't have the limited, the current partner that we have who can do 100,000 per second, they literally told us, unless you make these changes, good luck. That's what they said. And so we are doing this so that we can serve you, so we can serve riders and actually take rides. Imagine having rides and in the entire United States limiting it to at any time you can only get 500 rides.
And that's what we were able to get before.
Yeah, and this partner, you guys, is major. I can tell you guys, it adds so much credibility to the company as well. So you guys should be proud. I mean, this is a major partner.
Can y'all type 100,000 on the chat?
100,000 every second.
100,000 per second.
Absolutely.
That's going to become an internal joke.
Yeah, I love it.
and not only that, but we're about to hit 100,000 people in Trip.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I can officially tell you our accurate user count for the first time. For the first time, I can tell you accurate user count. And that is so important to actually had it written down. I'm not making this up. Look, I'm not typing. Look, on this big text editor right here.
Oh, nice.
Look at that, guys. 98. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, yeah, there it is.
That's post scraping, right?
That's post scraping. 98,085 users as of a few minutes ago and going up by a couple hundred every day on a slow day, right? So
amazing.
Hey, and what's really cool, guys, is, and we've kind of noticed this, like before we made this announcement of the change, okay, things had started to slow down a little bit, okay? after we made the announcement, you guys have been rocking this week. I mean, like, things are just going through the roof, skyrocketing, which is just awesome. So clearly, a lot of people are very excited about, you know, getting away from MLN, you know, not hearing the whole scam stigma anymore, on that kind of stuff, right? And the new model going forward is extremely lucrative. So, you know, I think that, you know, based upon your actions alone, okay, that says to everybody at corporate, hey, this was something that you guys are all embracing and running with. So that's very cool.
Yeah, it's just to add to it. It's amazing. I would say that 98. We were thinking that maybe, you know, 50% of people were going to like this, but at least people that I talked to, 98, maybe 99% of the people are just stoked because they weren't here just because of the MLM model, right? They were here because they see the vision we trip, just like, you know, Bishop, Bill, and you know, we have way more of you guys than I thought. You know, that's just amazing. You guys see why we need to do this, and you got your 100,000 per second now. You know, that's what happens. So let's see. There's a couple more things that we want to. I want to make a huge announcement if Bishop lets me.
Oh yeah.
Can I, Bishop?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Let's can you guys put a little rumble thing, a little drum kit on? You know, let's see. So, can you all do me a favor and type Bishop Rocks on the chat? Because this has to do with Bishop. Before I even tell you what it is, you know, let's see.
Bishop, I'm basically going to show you guys how to get 100,000 leads per second.
Exactly, I love it.
So Bishop is officially part of the corporate team, you guys. It took a long time to get him a title because, I mean, he could have a whole resume of a, you know, instead of a title. And but he's coming on board as vice president of development and training for the company. Because that's just summarizes everything that, you know, that he does. And who's excited about that? Give a good shout out to Bishop.
Team officially, brother.
Yes, I'm excited. Yeah, you know, for me, you guys, I'm excited about this. You know, David and I talked for a while because, like David knows, I don't like titles. I don't like all that kind of stuff with companies, but I really see the vision here. David was like, hey, I know you're busy with your other businesses and companies. And I was like, but listen, because of that change, I'm actually way more excited about where we can take this. And I know we could take it so much bigger than we all even thought previously. And David will tell you that change had a big part to do with my decision. And I said, hey, now that change has happened, I feel so comfortable to really come in here and rock this and really build out a massive, massive corporate company without all the other drama and all the other nonsense. And I was like, now we can really build a real solid business. And so that's what I like to do. I like to come in and build real companies. And so I felt very comfortable now allowing this transition to happen. Because before, David would tell you, I wasn't about it. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want a company title, a corporate title, or anything like that. But now I feel very comfortable with the change. And because I think it's a great change. I think it's actually beneficial from a corporate standpoint and a company standpoint. So I'm on board 100%. We'll be rocking out a lot of training and development and really helping you guys in a lot of different areas in regards to being out there in the field, building out the driver system and referral system. So Bill and I will be having a long working nights and mornings. He'll be messaging me at 6 a.m. As he's already doing. And so I'm very excited to make this happen.
Absolutely, buddy. So proud of you and appreciate you making that decision. You know, I've already considered you part of the team, you know, as you've always been from before we even started. So you just officially have a title now. Let's put it that way. But yeah, everybody, man, stoked. Everybody's saying congrats. The chat went nuts. And, you know, I'm super, super happy for you. Is there anything else that maybe we can answer?
I've been trying to answer all the major questions just right in the chat window here. So, and I think that I've answered pretty much all of these. So, Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, and everybody knows how to get onto Telegram, right? So we put that in a couple of times. David just put it in again now. What I suggest you do is download the Telegram app first and then click on that link. So if you want to save that right now, that tends to work a little bit easier as far as that goes. Okay. But yes, Telegram is real-time communications with us. We can't be any more pleased with the way you guys are using it and your level of excitement there. It's been really fantastic to see. So, and again, super important that if you want for us to see anything specific, okay, make sure in your message you use at Bill Crosby or at David Mata or at Taha or at Bishop, okay, because that way it makes it really easy for us to just do a quick search and go find those things, okay? If we have to look through 150 messages in the last 4 hours, it makes it very difficult to see stuff if you don't tag us in the post, okay? So please, please, please tag us in the post or just DM directly, okay? A lot of people are doing that. That's a really good way to get information to us is if you DM directly to us, okay?
And I want to say too, there's big chance there's some people here who wasn't here last week. So if you're kind of lost, go to the Facebook group, right? The old Facebook group. There's 8,000 plus people there. There's tons of videos there. So look for last week's video, and you're gonna get all the information. We did 5 times last week, right? 5 webinars, really going through everything. So if you're new and you don't know what's going on, you're probably like, what the heck is this guy's talking about? Go check it out. Spend some time there. I promise you're going to be excited. So with that being said, guys, one last thing, or are we good? Because we got Spanish coming up.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. So.
Yeah, one question though. Someone keeps asking, can you address not needing a referral code to log in or something? You can see that, Bill. It keeps flashing up, but I'm on my cell phone, so can you address people not needing a referral code to sign in?
It's very simple. It's a scalability issue, right? We addressed this before. Just think about this. Think of the company going out there, putting millions of dollars in advertising, and then somebody just happens to see it on a billboard or on a TV, and then they come to the app store. They can't create their account. They need a card right now because they don't have a referral code. So there's no way you can scale a business without that. So that's why we did our links where it's dip linking, right? There's no way for you to mess up the link. If you make sure you got the right link, you share it, that's yours. So it's going to go all the way through to the app for that reason. So just make sure you share it correctly. But the company cannot, be held back from scaling. It's simple as that. Cool.
Yeah, and Ron's asking the 16-minute, it's actually an 18-minute video now. It will be in the back end within the next couple of days, Ron. So for those that are asking about that, so.
You got it, Alex.
Okay.
Sorry, man. We were not ignoring it, but just so many questions going on here. Cool. Awesome. Anybody saying thank you? So that's it. Spanish call coming up. Marco, we're announced Marco something next week. So we'll hold that for another week. Everybody's saying thank you. Can you tell us payment process? No, payment process you'll see on the app. It's a surprise. So Rider app sometime next week, and you'll see it.
The driver app.
Apologize, driver. Rider's already out.
Yeah, cool. Rider's rocking. So all right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.
All right.